Okay, I will. Mission accepted.
Today on Good Morning Suncoast, a special congressional election in Pennsylvania that's too close to call, but one man is declaring victory.
I'm live at Braden River High School, Manatee County. Just one school participating in a walkout that is being happened throughout the nation as well as locally. I have a live report straight ahead.
And soon it may be easier to get alcohol in Sarasota County. We have the details of that law that could be changed. We've got your weather, traffic, and much more straight ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
And good morning, early risers out there. It is 5 o'clock on the 14th day of March. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up and joining us on a little bit more of a chilly morning. Could be the coldest day of the week, maybe, I think I heard Scalzi say.
Let's ask the expert right now.
All right.
Good morning.
Tonight, good morning,
Yeah.
by the way, good morning. Tonight, yes, coldest night of the week coming up as a cold front kind of limps its way through our area today. You'll hardly notice its passage, but it will reinforce the cooler air that's already in place and allow for some pretty chilly temperatures tonight, I think. We'll shave a few degrees off the nighttime low. Right now, we're looking at 46 degrees in Sarasota, a little bit cooler than it was 24 hours ago. 44 Mayaca, 44 Arcadia, 44 Wauchula, 46 Bradenton. You know, they're like February temperatures there. As we head into the afternoon, we'll watch these temperatures, which are a few degrees cooler than they were 24 hours ago, get to be perhaps a few degrees warmer than they were 24 hours ago. A few fair weather clouds kind of swing by, and then after a few degrees warmer afternoon, will be a few degrees cooler tonight. So it's basically a roller coaster ride for temperatures. Talk about it in just a few.
All right, it's a date. Let's check the roads right now. A little blip there on State Road 70 in the eastbound lane around Lockwood Ridge, otherwise pretty quiet in Manatee County. The upper half of Sarasota shows one little red line. If you look out toward the right side of your screen there, that is Fruitville Road. You'll see a little blip there eastbound. And checking our final maps to the south, we'll see a little more action there actually. 41 northbound, you'll see between Venice and Tacoma some early congestion there that you should be aware of.
All right, and new this morning, detectives are searching for suspects involved in a shooting in Palmetto.
According to the Manatee County Sheriff's Office, at least one person was shot at a house near Palmview Road in Palmetto. And you are right now looking at a live picture of that area. The house came in about 10:30 p.m. last night. Detectives said that the suspects ran away and their canine unit wasn't able to find anything. This is right now under investigation. Updates throughout the day on our website, mysuncoast.com.
And of course, for the very latest on this story, plus other breaking news and your up-to-the-minute first alert forecast and traffic, all you have to do is head over to our app. You can find it in the App Store under WWSB or under My Suncoast.
More than 2,500 schools nationwide are taking part in a demonstration today. The walkout is being organized by Empower. That's the youth branch of the Women's March. They're rallying in remembrance of the shooting victims in Broward County who were killed exactly 1 month ago today. Students across the country will walk out for 17 minutes for the 17 victims at 10 o'clock this morning.
And locally, close to 50 schools in both Manatee and Sarasota counties will be participating in that national walkout this morning.
Marla Spence is live from one of those schools, Braden River High School in Manatee County. Marla, good morning.
Yeah, Ray and Stephanie, like students across the nation as well as across the state, students right here on the Suncoast will be also participating in that walkout for 17 minutes, honoring the 17 lives that were lost in Parkland starting at 10 o'clock this morning. Both Manatee and Sarasota County school districts are on full board with the walkout, observing those 17 lives. Many students nationwide are facing punishment if they walk out, but that's not the case in Sarasota or Manatee County schools. We spoke to one parent whose child attends Manatee High School, a school that saw at least 2 threats last month, and this is what she had to say.
It's a tragedy that happened, but I think it's something good to remember. Like we have other things that we celebrate as a nationwide to remember. I think this is something that we have to have in mind and think on every day.
Coming up at 5:30, weather security is going to be amped up at Suncoast schools and what students are being asked to do during today's walkout. That's straight ahead at 5:30. Reporting live in Manatee County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you. An update now on the dispute between two Manatee County school board members. All eyes were on Dave Miner and Scott Hopes during last night's board meeting, but there was no drama. It was the first public meeting between the two since the dispute was caught on camera in the parking lot 2 weeks ago. In that, Hopes said Miner assaulted him by driving his car at him in the parking lot, as you're about to see. Well, here's what Dr. Hopes, the school board chair, told us last night.
I think we accomplished what we set out to accomplish. I think we were all engaged. We had productive dialogue, and we're going to continue to just work through our relationship.
People who are elected in office, they need to be role models. They need to be example for our children. I hope that they can air their differences.
Well, Hope says the complaint he filed with the police about Miner has been put on hold for now. He says he's optimistic that he and Miner can talk through their differences. Miner didn't comment to our reporter last night.
New details on a new middle school opening up in East Manatee County. The school board unanimously voted to name it Dr. Mona Jane Middle School. It received 27 different nominations for those names. Now, the second most popular choice was to name it after actress Barbara Hershey.
We're very, very excited, very, very proud of her. You know, she's been a giant in our community as far as education is concerned. She represents the Indian community to a very high degree, and now this really tops whatever she's achieved in her entire career.
The new Dr. Mona Jane Middle School will be located east of Gullet Elementary School on 44th Avenue East. It's scheduled to open in August of 2019.
Members of Florida school boards could be limited to just 8 years in office. The Florida Constitution Revision Commission is looking at term limits on this year's ballot. A poll released yesterday by a Tallahassee-based research firm shows 68% of people would support limiting school board members to just 2 4-year terms. The Constitution Commission meets every 20 years to suggest changes to our state charter.
Well, for the first time in more than 40 years, restaurants near churches might soon be allowed to serve alcohol. A local law that was created way back in 1974 prohibits the sale and drinking of alcohol at bars and restaurants located within 800 feet of a church or a school, with the exception of the Englewood Business District. But that could soon be changing. Yesterday, commissioners said it is about time that the county finally enters the 21st century.
5:07 right now. All eyes are on absentee ballots in the race for Pennsylvania's 18th congressional district.
Now, a winner has not been officially announced, but Democratic Connor Lamb has already claimed victory. ABC's Tara Palmieri tells us what makes this election so historic.
Overnight, votes still being counted in a razor-thin special election. A little after midnight, Democratic candidate Connor Lamb declaring victory with just a 579-vote lead over Republican Rick Saccone, and more than 1,300 absentee ballots still outstanding.
It took a little longer than we thought, but we did it.
Republicans not ready to concede.
You know, we're still fighting the fight. It's not over yet. We're going to fight all the way to the end.
The race being watched from around the country as a bellwether of what's to come in the midterm elections. President Trump stumping for Saccone over the weekend. In 2016, he won that district by nearly 20 points.
They're all watching because I won this district like by 22 points. It's a lot.
A victory for Lamb in Trump country is seen as a sign of a blue wave across the country. For Democrats, this win could rally their fundraising efforts ahead of the November elections. Just days after signing market-rattling tariffs, President Trump in Steel Country came out swinging against the Democratic candidate, who has claimed he's running as a moderate.
Lamb the sham, right? Lamb the sham. He's trying to act like a Republican, so he won't give me one vote.
As results pour in, President Trump has yet to weigh in.
Republicans spent a whopping $10 million on this race. Earlier this morning, the National Republican Congressional Committee said they're ready to ensure that every legal vote is counted. Tara Palmieri, ABC News, Washington.
New this morning, the parents of a Democratic National Committee staffer is suing Fox News for allegedly fueling a conspiracy theory about their son's death. Joel and Mary Rich say Fox suggested the young staffer was killed because he gave DNC emails to WikiLeaks. Seth Rich was shot in the back while walking down the street nearly 2 years ago. His death has not been solved. The story connecting the conspiracy to his death stayed on the Fox News website for several days and was talked about on air. Fox lawyers want this lawsuit thrown out.
And some sad news this morning. The most famous scientist since Albert Einstein has passed away overnight. Physicist Stephen Hawking died peacefully at his home. Now, in the 1960s, he was diagnosed with ALS, or motor neuron disease, and given just 2 years to live. But he defied those odds for almost 50 years. He was famous for exploring the mysteries of space and time and black holes. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll highlight some of Hawking's biggest accomplishments as well. And of course, if you are a fan of Big Bang Theory or Star Trek or The Simpsons, you know that Hawking's appearances on those shows kind of introduced his science to a whole new generation.
I was always surprised he appeared on The Simpsons.
Yes, I know, it was so strange, but I love the fact that he was excited about making science fun again for another generation.
It's an amazing story on so many levels. Still had a good morning Suncoast, the latest in first alert traffic, and this large military airplane is not out of commission quite yet. When we come back, we'll tell you what will happen once it's gutted.
That's my baby. Oh my God, oh my God.
Oh, some scary moments right there. As video is going viral online. When we come back, we're going to show you just where people found that woman's baby. It is a crazy story. But first, we want to check in with the day's weather with John Scalzi.
Well, the cold temperature trend kind of continues on again today. We're looking at a temperature of about 48 degrees. That's it, and 7 o'clock this morning. And then as we head into the noontime hours, maybe a degree or two warmer as we get up to about 68 by 3 p.m. But still, another cool front moving through promises us, once again, some cooler temperatures. None of the inclement weather boxes checked on the drive time forecast. Your commute will be just fine weather-wise. Forecast in a minute.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
Alex Karras Lincoln's 40th anniversary sale. Drive a brand new 2018 Lincoln MKC for $279 per month, or the Lincoln MKZ for $299 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, where our mission statement is consistent commitment. Every client, every time. Located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
It's time to take a road trip.
Burn rubber for Birmingham, where you can feed your need for speed at Barber Motorsports Park and Museum. Now this gets my motor running. Meet Iron Men. Hey there, big guy. And make a date with your 9-iron. Feed the animals at the zoo and the birds. Then enjoy the award-winning restaurant scene. Alabama has a road trip with your name on it.
Which one you gonna take?
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
What's changed in the last month in one word is urgency. There was a debate about the need for security. That debate doesn't exist anymore.
It has been a month since Parkland. Students, parents, and teachers all demanding politicians make changes. But what is different today than a month ago? I'm Alan Cohn. We'll discuss at the Trapezoid.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Now, your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Air temperature outside kind of cool right now at 46 degrees. The dew point value also kind of low at 44. I think we'll see that dew point value drop this afternoon as a cold front kind of works its way through the area. You'll hardly notice its passage because this is going to be a very dry cold front. Probably won't even produce much in the way of cloud cover. Maybe the winds might tick up just a little bit before dying back down again. But otherwise, all this front will do will be to bring us another reinforcing shot of cooler air and lead to probably the coldest night of the week, but it won't be that much colder. It will be, a couple of degrees cooler, but not that much colder. North wind coming in at about 3 right now. We'll turn a little bit more northwest for a time and then back to the northeast by dawn tomorrow morning. Still, we'll see that northerly wind component in the winds probably through about Friday. Now, 56 degrees, Longboat Key. Sarasota at 46 degrees in Bradenton. Parrish the same at 46, 44 in Myakka. We're looking at Wauchula coming in at 44, Arcadia at 44, and I'm sure Becky in Myakka will be phoning in with a cooler temperature in Old Myakka. She always does. 48 degrees by 7 a.m. By noon, coming in at about 62. Sunny but cool throughout the day with 68 degrees by 3 p.m. That's probably going to be about our top out temperature. The front will move through. Temperatures will start to fall again this evening as dew points lower. 7 p.m. temperature coming in at about 60. It'll be a cool, crisp evening here on the Suncoast. Now, the front moving through won't produce any rain showers, and there's no rain showers across our area currently. And in fact, throughout the state of Florida, we're not seeing much in the way of any kind of rain showers around. As we head north, we're still seeing some inclement weather, though, in the northeast. Snow showers still in progress here in Maine, particularly. Some pretty good accumulations still expected, especially at higher elevations where they could get perhaps as much as a foot of snow today in the highest elevations. Otherwise, see this little area of snow showers right here? That is part of a cold front, a very weak cold front that is sinking southward and will promise us that extra little shot of cooler air. High pressure will then build in thereafter, after that front kind of fades away, and as it moves itself closer to the center of our state, our winds will start to relax first, and then we'll start to see the winds come in a little bit more out of the east as we head into Friday. When we see it move more to the east, the wind direction that is, that spells the warm-up for us. That'll carry us right through the weekend. The weekend looks like it's going to be absolutely spectacular with daytime highs in the mid to upper 70s, relatively low humidity, and really full sunshine with that high sitting right over us. So some pretty nice days ahead. Clear skies, cool for a couple more days, and then warmer temperatures headed our way this weekend. As we take a look at the futurecast, put that into motion, we'll go through today. Again, lots of sunshine around. You'll hardly notice that front sinking southward. It does come through, though, and keep us in that kind of clear weather for a couple of days. And then as we head into Saturday, I think you'll notice a line of showers developing from Tennessee back into Texas. That's the next front. Comes our way the beginning of next work week. North wind coming in at about 15 today. Shifting a little more northeast by dawn. 68 for today, 68 for tomorrow. Tonight's temperature, though, about 42 degrees when you wake up tomorrow morning, and there'll be some 30s in inland areas. Then over the weekend, we start to warm nicely into the 70s, and then on Monday, we'll work in that next chance of rain. The next front that comes through, I don't think will be quite as potent as this last one that really knocked down our temperatures, but it will bring us a chance of rain. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside into your first alert traffic this morning. On the road so far, looking pretty good. There was a little bit of a slowdown right there on State Road 70 just before you get to 301, but other than that, not too much in Manatee County. And if you're heading into Sarasota County, those roads are running pretty good today. There is one little blip, as Ray Collins likes to say, right there on 41, right before you get to the Fruitville Road area. And then if you're heading a little bit farther south, those roads are still pretty congestion-free around this time in the morning. If you want to head a little farther south into the South Venice area, and taking a look at 41 as you head into Punta Gorda, those roads are pretty congestion-free. At 5:19 this morning, that is your first alert traffic.
Well, have you seen this video yet? The mother of a 9-month-old baby crawling in the middle of the street near Syracuse. She's being charged with neglect. This video got more than 1 million views in the first 12 hours. It was on Facebook. 2 drivers came across the baby. A third driver began rolling video. Police say the mother told them the infant was secured in her car, but when she looked to the back seat, the child was not there, and she's being charged. This large airplane is getting a major makeover. The military tanker was used to refuel planes in midair since 1951, and now it'll be used as a restaurant in Cleveland, of course. Mechanics have spent over 800 hours restoring the plane for its new life. They're hoping to have the restaurant ready in a couple of years, and hopefully that airplane will serve more than just beer nuts.
That's pretty cool. I would like to go check that out. I would want to go and check that out.
You wouldn't get airsick on that thing at all?
No, I love anything having to do with planes. I was supposed to be a pilot, but I wasn't good at any of the subjects that make that possible.
I'm glad you're not my pilot.
News
then.
it is.
Yes. I'm too tall to be a flight attendant.
Well, see, there we go. We found our callings in life.
That's right.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Walmart is making some big announcements overnight. When we come back, we're going to tell you what it means for all of us consumers all across the country.
And Uber gets some high-flying competition. When we come back, we'll tell you how a flying taxi actually works. But first, a live shot from one of Pennsylvania's biggest cities. This is Pittsburgh.
That is right. It is currently 23 balmy degrees right now. They're expecting a high of about 32 degrees out there today, but beautiful. Looks kind of nice and very peaceful around this time in the morning.
Yeah. Three Rivers area right there. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Legalizing marijuana is paying off big in some areas. Stephanie has the impact of the pot business.
Well, Ray, a new report shows that legalizing marijuana can actually spark up local economies. Research from Colorado State University shows that taxing and regulating marijuana added almost $60 million to the economy in that area, and they found it even boosted the housing values as well. Another report shows that legalizing marijuana federally could possibly generate more than $105 billion within the next few years. Well, a major identity theft may have happened through a virtual school. Nearly 368,000 current and former online students, as well as 2,000 teachers, may have had their personal information stolen from Florida Virtual School. Now, that school is offering a year of free identity protection services to those whose information was in the school's database between May 2nd of 2016 and February 12th of this year. And finally, well, we all want to find love, but just a reminder, looking for it online could make you a target for catfishers. Romance scams cost people more than $230 million every year, and that number may actually be higher since a lot of people that get catfish don't actually report being taken advantage of. Now, if we've seen on MTV's hit show Catfish, con artists start by building up your trust through emails and text and phone calls. Eventually, they do find a way to ask you for money. It may be for a family emergency or maybe their own medical emergency, but either way, they're looking for money out of this. Now, to protect yourself, you have to be your own detective. Search the person online, find other social media sites, and now there's even face recognition websites like this one right here, where you can check their profile picture to see if it's actually a real one. The good and the bad of technology.
Yes.
Yay.
Glad I'm married.
Overnight, Walmart announced plans to expand its grocery delivery service.
ABC's Candace Gibson and Diamond Sato have details. This morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Walmart is ramping up its grocery delivery service.
The world's largest retailer plans to expand to 100 metropolitan areas by the end of the year, up from just 6. Items would be delivered by Walmart or an outside service like Uber. And Fitbit is out with its second smartwatch, the Versa.
Some people say it looks like an Apple Watch. The Versa tracks your fitness, and you can use it to answer texts, store music, and even use apps. Goes on sale next month. The price tag, though, $200. And one of the guys who founded Google is funding the development of pilotless air taxis.
Larry Page's Kitty Hawk company is testing the all-electric vehicles in New Zealand. Uber's also working on air taxis, as are some aircraft companies, but Kitty Hawk is hoping to take off first within 3 years. Just fly to work.
It is a race. Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Breathe Right.
Ah, my poor mouth breather. Allergies, stuffy nose, can't sleep. Enough. Take that. A Breathe Right nasal strip, of course. Imagine, just put one on and pow! It instantly opens your nose, up to 38% more than allergy medicine alone. So you can breathe and sleep. Better than a cat nap. Shut your mouth and say goodnight, mouth breathers. Breathe Right.
You don't even want to know protection. Detergent alone doesn't kill bacteria, but adding Lysol laundry sanitizer kills 99.9% of bacteria with 0% bleach. Lysol, what it takes to protect.
If your skin had a wash tag, what would it say?
80% glowing, 50% freckle.
No matter your skin type, all skin deserves gentleness. That's why Dove is sulfate-free. The #1 body wash recommended by dermatologists.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
ABC7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, the NRA has donated millions to schools across the country, but just how much of that money has gone to schools here in Florida?
I'm live at Braden River High School, Manatee County, just one school on the Suncoast, participating in a walkout, observing the lives of 17 lost in Parkland. I have a live report coming up.
And Sarasota ranks high on another list compared to other counties in the state. We'll tell you about it right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Good morning to you and welcome to Wednesday. We are halfway through the week. It is a boot alert morning again because it's chilly. Ladies, we can wear our boots. It's also a seat warmer alert morning. That was in the car. I'm like,
yeah. I'm going to the Orioles game. Yankees are in town today.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say bring a coat.
Yeah,
maybe a little windbreaker.
Biggest game of the season for the spring training, that is. Yankees sell out the stadium right away. Hopefully a nice day for baseball, John Scalzi.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get through these morning temperatures, which are definitely on the cool side. In fact, Becky in Old Mayaca, who traditionally has a colder location, always actually, but her thermometers have been verified, is coming in with 32 degrees right now in Old Mayaca. Freezing temperatures there. And there are freeze watches up for parts of Florida for tonight because another cold front will be moving through, lowering our temperatures. Around the area, temperatures generally hovering around the 40s, 46 Sarasota, 45 in Parrish, 45 in Bradenton. Complete forecast coming up in a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Let's check the roads right now. First off, Manatee County checking clear right now, so we can move on to the upper half of Sarasota County. Little slowdowns there on 41 in both directions around the Bayfront, around the Van Wezel there. You'll see that. There is some work there being done on the roundabouts. Let's check farther south now into South County. One little blip there, 41 northbound as you drive from Venice toward Nokomis.
Detectives are searching for suspects involved in a shooting in Palmetto.
Sheriff's office says at least one person was shot at a house on 61st Street East in Palmetto. We're going to show you a live picture right now of that neighborhood where reports of shots came at about 10:30 p.m. Detectives say one person was shot and the suspects ran off, and the canine couldn't find any scent. This story is still under investigation. Much more on our website as it develops. Other news now happening today. Some students on the Suncoast and nationwide will walk out of school at 10 o'clock this morning.
ABC's Maggie Ruley tells us they've had some pushback, but they're not letting the adults tell them no.
Thousands of shoes scattered across the Capitol lawn. A pair for each child lost to gun violence since Sandy Hook. The image sharpened lawmakers' minds as today students across the country continue their fight for gun reform.
Never again! We refuse to continue watching our peers die around us while Congress debates about whether or not our lives are worth it.
Planning a nationwide walkout. On the front lines, survivors of the shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Inspiring a new Florida state law that raises the age of all gun purchases from 18 to 21.
To the students at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, you made your voices heard. You didn't let up.
But they're already facing pushback. The NRA is suing Florida over what they say is an affront to the Second Amendment. And President Trump, who at first was outspoken in his support of gun reform, even going against the NRA just 2 weeks ago.
Some of you people are petrified of the NRA. You can't be petrified.
Has now backtracked, and a new plan on school safety released this week from the White House does not include that age change, instead only calling to study the issue. The proposed bill aims to improve background checks, expand mental health programs, and help states to provide firearm training for specially qualified school personnel. All proposals the NRA has previously backed.
The president's primary focus is on pushing through things that we know have broad bipartisan support.
Organizers say they are only getting started. Up next is the March for Our Lives in Washington on March 24th and another school walkout planned for April. Student activists say they don't plan on stopping until they see the change they demand. In Plainville, New York, Maggie Rulli, ABC News.
Well, school districts here on the Suncoast are also participating in today's school walkout, observing the 17 lives lost in Broward County. Now, school officials, though, are asking some Manatee County students to do one thing during that walkout.
Marla Spence has details from Braden River High School. Marla, what's that all about?
Well, school officials here in Manatee County and Sarasota County say they have guidelines for students who are participating in the walkout starting at 10 o'clock this morning. They're saying that students have to stay within the boundaries of their school and can only stay within the courtyard of their school if they're going to walk out. Now, we're told that students in both Sarasota and Manatee counties will not be punished for walking out for 17 minutes starting at 10 o'clock this morning. So far, schools in Manatee County are not amping up security for the walkout. Mike Barber with the Manatee County School District tells me 2 student resource officers are already stationed at each high school and 1 officer is stationed at each middle school in Manatee County. This comes after several threats in Manatee County schools like Braden River High School and Manatee High School. We spoke to a mother that her child attends Manatee High School, and she tells us that the observation of the 17 lives in Broward County on Valentine's Day should be observed annually, just like 9/11.
I think it's good to remember that and not just one day, just have that in mind every time, all the time. We leave our students, we drop our students to go, but we don't know what's going to happen.
Close to 50 schools locally will be participating in the walkout starting at 10 o'clock this morning. Elementary, middle, and high schools in Sarasota County will be participating, and then mostly high schools will be participating in the walkout in Manatee County. Reporting live in Bradenton, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you. One of the students critically injured in that shooting is improving now. 15-year-old Anthony Borges developed an intestinal infection after being shot 5 times. He is now upgraded to fair condition. He is credited with saving the lives of 20 students by trying to close and lock a classroom door during the attack. He and his family, though, are suing the Broward County School District and others for failing to protect students during the massacre.
Well, despite the controversy surrounding the NRA right now, most schools say that they will continue taking grant money from them. This, according to a report from the Associated Press. Hundreds of schools have received more than $7 million in grants from the NRA in recent years. Now, here in Florida, schools received also almost $1 million. The Broward County School District say they will not be taking any more money from the NRA moving forward.
A teacher in Northern California is under investigation after his gun went off in class yesterday. He was giving a lecture on public safety when he took out a gun to show students. Police say it accidentally went off into the ceiling. One student was injured, though, either by a bullet fragment or ceiling debris. Here's the police chief there.
The class continued after that, and right now the police department is conducting an investigation into what occurred.
The teacher also works as a reserve police officer for the city. He is now on paid leave pending the investigation.
A Wisconsin man is behind bars this morning after a massive investigation into the death of a Charlotte County resident. A 25-year-old man died after using a nasal spray bottle he received in the mail that contained fentanyl. Now, deputies say he ordered that bottle online from a company in Wisconsin. It was traced back to Michael Schunman there. Now, investigators later found 180 grams of powder fentanyl inside his home, as well as mailing labels, packages, and hundreds of these nasal spray containers. He now faces up to 20 years in prison for fentanyl possession.
And here's some good news. Sarasota County is one of the healthiest places to live in Florida. This, according to a report by countyhealthrankings.org. It came in 6th. First place went to St. Johns County near Daytona. Sarasota County has consistently remained near the top in Florida since 2010. Manatee and Charlotte counties have also earned scores that are above average for the state. Manatee ranks 23rd and Charlotte ranks 17. That is out of 67 counties statewide. Still ahead, first alert traffic and...
We can be sure of the past, and we can predict the future.
Some life advice from one of the world's most famous physicists.
Plus, this Tampa man that you're about to meet is trying to break his own Guinness World Record. We'll show you just how he plans to do it when we come back.
But first, here's John Sculty.
Looking at a nice day today, but another cool one, no doubt about that. 48 by 7 by noon. We're looking at 62 under full sunshine right straight through the period. Sunshine takes us to a daytime high of about 68. We're looking at a pollen count that still remains high, but at least it's looking a little lower than it did a week ago. And in fact, tomorrow will be lower still. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in just a few.
Alex Karras Lincoln's 40th anniversary sale. Please join us in welcoming the two newest additions to the Lincoln lineup, our flagship luxury sedan, the 2018 Lincoln Continental, and the totally redesigned 2018 Lincoln Navigator, featuring 450 horsepower, 10-speed transmission, and many best-in-class features. Alex Karras Lincoln, where our mission statement is consistent commitment, every client, every time. Located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny'd been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
I think to me one of the characteristics of this air mass that has moved into our area and is going to stick around at least through Friday is that dew point value coming in at 44. That low dew point value making it feel very dry, and for a lot of folks that dryness is almost, or if not, uncomfortable, especially when you heat the air up to whatever you heat it to, 68 degrees maybe, or warmer for some folks. And the air temperature is at 46. That relative humidity drops from 93% where it is now to a relative humidity probably in the 50 percentile or less, and so that feels very, very dry for a lot of folks. That will be changing as we head into the weekend, and our dew point values will start to lift once again. But not for today and not for tomorrow. In fact, we're going to get another reinforcing shot of that drier air today, which will lower our nighttime temperatures even a little bit more than they are this morning. So it'll be a little bit cooler, probably the coolest night coming up tonight. 48 degrees by 7 o'clock. We'll go with 62 degrees by 12 noon. Then as we head into 3 p.m., we're looking at 68, which will be our daytime high. And then we'll look for 60 degrees by 7 p.m. It'll be maybe a little bit of a breeze in the air as we head into the later afternoon, and that front has just moved through. We'll probably pick up a little bit of wind speed, but then things will die down pretty quickly thereafter. So we'll watch for that northerly wind flow for this morning, and then as the front moves through, kind of shifting a little bit more to the northwest with time. Temperatures will be rising into the upper 60s for a daytime high this afternoon, and then falling pretty quickly, I think, as we head after sunset because of that dry air just not retaining heat very well. It radiates it back to space. Plus, we'll have some fairly clear skies around, maybe a little high-level cloudiness from time to time, but nothing that'll prevent heat loss. So we'll be watching those temperatures fall back down into the 40s, low 40s most likely by tomorrow morning. Radar quiet. It will be all day long, dry air. The front that moves through today will move through dry, and you'll hardly even notice its passage, except perhaps for that little uptick in wind speed. Otherwise, that's all we're going to see today is plenty of sunshine and that very comfortable, I think, afternoon air with daytime high temperatures a little warmer, coming in the mid to upper 60s. That'll feel pleasant. But then, like I say, tonight, when the winds subside and that drier air moves in, it's going to be a chilly night. So as we head into the next several days, what are we going to notice? Well, I think our weather will be driven in large extent right straight through the weekend by the position of this high pressure ridge. Our front today kind of limps through, as I mentioned. You'll hardly even notice it. But this high pressure ridge will be instrumental in warming us up as we head into the weekend. And the reason for that is it's going to, first of all, be centered more directly right over us, and that will allow for a little bit of a shift in our winds coming in more out of the east. That'll be a warming wind for us. Forecast looks like this. Beach and boating forecast calls for a north wind at about 15 today. That'll bring you a moderate chop on bay and inland waters. And the extended range forecast looks like this. 68 degrees for a daytime high. Overnight low tonight, chilly, 42. And then we'll warm up again tomorrow to around 68. On Friday, we'll warm even more as that high is centered more directly over us to about 71. And then the warm up really starts over the weekend when we're in the upper 70s. Next front limps through over the beginning of the next work week with about a 40% rain chance. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Taking a look at your first alert traffic this morning. We are starting to see a little bit of a buildup there. Do have one little blip right there on State Road 64 and 301, right in that area of Bradenton. That's starting to get a little bit busy. And another spot right there near 38th Avenue and 301. That spot is starting to get a little congested around this time of the morning. Other hot spots are pretty slow right now. University Parkway, Fruitville, Bee Ridge. Those roads are actually running pretty smooth. Do see some slowdown right there on northbound 41 just as you pass by Fruitville. That area is a little bit slow. If you're heading a little bit farther south into the area, those roads are still looking pretty decent out there. Nothing too major on your traffic map this morning. It is 5:47, and that is your first alert traffic. In this hour's Health Smart, this month the American Red Cross is raising awareness of its organization and its continuing humanitarian mission.
March was first proclaimed Red Cross Month back in 1943 by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The Red Cross has responded to nearly 64,000 disasters nationwide. Most common disaster, home fires. This month, Red Cross officials are asking for your help to continue to serve those in need.
We're one of the few organizations that will take your blood, your money, or your time. And what we are looking for, I definitely am looking for disaster volunteers.
Now, circle your calendars. On March 28th, the Red Cross will have a 24-hour fundraising campaign. Don't forget our app for all these stories. You can check it out at My Suncoast or WWSB at the App Store. Well, the world lost a very famous physicist overnight.
That is right. ABC has the latest on the amazing life of the one and only Stephen Hawking, who passed away.
Stephen Hawking will be remembered as a genius who did not let his disease stop him.
I have had ALS for practically all my adult life. Yet it has not prevented me from having a very attractive family and being successful in my work.
Hawking has been compared to Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton. His best-selling book, A Brief History of Time, tackles black holes and the Big Bang Theory, subjects he spent his life exploring. In 2004, he conceded a mistake on black holes. Instead of destroying everything that falls into them, he found they do allow critical information to get out.
So we can be sure of the past, and we can predict the future.
Hawking was born in 1942. Early on, he displayed a love of science. In his early 20s, already a physics phenom at Cambridge University, Hawking was first diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. But Hawking said that physics can take one beyond one's physical limitations. He certainly took science beyond the classroom and into popular culture, even appearing on television shows such as The Simpsons.
If you are looking for trouble, you found it.
Yeah, just try me, you.
Oh!
His spirit of adventure also led him to accept an offer to experience weightlessness.
It was amazing.
Asked many times if his disability held him back, Hawking simply said it gave him more time to think. For the world of science, it wasn't time enough. Gloria Riviera, ABC News.
And new this morning, a stuntman breaks a world record at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. David the Bullet Smith, he broke the Guinness World Record title for greatest distance traveled as, wait for it, a human cannonball. This was all part of the launch of an Xbox game, Sea of Thieves. Now he launched 195 feet through the air out of a 30-foot long, oh my gosh, look at this video, I can't even talk. Oh, he broke his former record, which was launching himself 193.7 feet.
Empty stadium, too.
Wow, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
You just hope all that just turns out right.
Human cannonball.
That is pretty sweet.
Imagine that in your job description, your
Right?
resume. Yeah.
It's good to have goals.
Let's take a live shot right now of the nation's largest city. There's New York, there's Manhattan.
No human cannonballs in this shot.
No, thankfully. 551 right now. Temperature there around the 30s, making our 46 sound a little better. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
It's time to take a road trip.
Alabama's got 100 road trips. And if you love the sun, you're gonna love Mobile, where Mardi Gras is king, and the accommodations will make you feel like royalty. You can take a little drive, explore Dauphin Island, or explore the past. We're talking the USS Alabama. Check out these big guns. Alabama's got 100 road trips. Plan yours at alabama.travel.
Which one you gonna take?
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Here's today's Job of the Day. ABC7 is seeking a multimedia journalist who can tell his story on all platforms and meet tight deadlines. Reporting experience required. Visit mysuncoast.com/joboftheday to apply.
Here are some of the stories that we're following for you on the Suncoast today.
A Sarasota prosecutor has been fired after 21 years on the job. The state attorney's office told us that Beth Loeffler was let go, but they wouldn't say why. She told the Sarasota Herald Tribune it was due to comments she made to co-workers during a birthday happy hour earlier this month.
Plus, he was the most famous scientist since Albert Einstein. Physicist Stephen Hawking passed away at his home early this morning. We'll have more on his amazing life next hour for you in the show.
And the Baltimore Orioles have one of their biggest games of the spring today. Ed Smith Stadium is sold out for the New York Yankees who come to town for a 1 o'clock game this afternoon.
Coming up in the next hour, so just what lessons has FEMA learned from covering Hurricane Irma? We've got a report this morning in our next hour as well.
All right, all that, and also John Scalzi's forecast again. Off to another chilly start today, 46 degrees.
It's cold today.
Well, Monday's 70 now, seems like a distant memory.
That seems like a heat wave. We'll take those warm temperatures back again.
It is warming up nicely, though. You know, by the afternoon, it's nice out there.
It's not bad. We'll take it.
Yeah,
we'll take
all right.
it. All right, we've got more weather, more traffic, more on Stephen Hawking, and more of your local news coming up right here on Good Morning Suncoast.